how inflation is affecting rent. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode at Novarise, your channel for financial education. So today we're going to talk about inflation, yada yada. I know everybody has heard about it, everybody knows what that is, but do you truly understand how everything gets formed, how everything happens, and how inflation connects to literally everything that's happening today? If you are, congratulations, but if you are not sure, that's why I decided to create this episode for your very benefit. So inflation, let's start out with the very basic concept. So we have inflation right here. And recently I shared with you guys that inflation is considered healthy if it's 2% on a yearly basis or trending downwards, right? But anything that exceeds that 2% is probably not going to be a good thing. So if you go back and you think about what has been happening in 2021, you will see that somewhere in January, we had inflation at 1% and then it went up to 2, then eventually went to 3, then 4. And then last time I checked in September, inflation was at 5.4%. Okay, so definitely not a good thing because it is exceeded what's considered safe at 2%. So right now, inflation at the time of this episode recording, we're talking about a 5.4%. All right, that's what inflation is looking like. And at the same time, I've talked about the increase in the housing market. So we're talking about an appreciation on property prices from 2020 to 2021. So we're going to have here 2020 to 2021. And the appreciation has been over 17%, right? And then it is expected that from 2021 to 2022, the appreciation of those properties, it will probably be hit somewhere, 11% or above, according to Zillow, right? So if you come to think about it, if you're a homeowner or if you are a real estate investor, you're probably loving these numbers, right? Wow, getting a yearly appreciation of 17%, a yearly appreciation of 11%. That means my net worth, it's going up even more. That means that by the time I go to the bank and I ask for a refinance, now I'm having an extra 11% of, extra cash to pull out with or equity to pull out of from my properties. Sounds like a great news. But think about it twice, okay? Inflation is affecting pretty much everything in the local economy or even the national economy because this number could exceed whatever you are making. So let's say, for example, if you have a job that's paying you a set rate, and when inflation is going, 5.4%, I think? Yes. So when it's going at this rate, guess what's going to happen to your money? That means you're going to have less to buy. So you're buying the same groceries, but now this time you're paying more. And that gives you less money to save, less money to go out and enjoy, unless there's an adjustment in everything, right? So keep that thought in mind. And now let's just go back into that 17% and that 21%. So let's assume that this translates into your house. All right, so this is your house. And let's say that in 2020, your house costs $250,000, right? So $250,000. And that 1 year later, you adjust it for the appreciation. Now we're talking about an 11% increase. Let's just round that up to 10% for simplicity purposes. We're talking about $275,000. Okay. So a 10% increase will place you at $275,000. Once again, that looks very nice when it comes to doing a cash out refi, when it comes to taking out a HELOC, because it shows that you have more money today. But for those who are property owners or homeowners, you will know that when you have a property in your hands under your ownership, you're also responsible for what they call property taxes, right? So what do you think is going to happen to your property taxes thanks to all of this appreciation? It's going to go up, right? And by going up, I'm not talking about the rate where they're going to charge you. The rate of the property taxes more or less tends to remain static. So let's say, for example, that you are located in an area where the property taxes is at 3%, right? So now you told me you don't really need a calculator to get this, right? 3% of 250,000 is not going to be the same, for sure, not going to be the same as the 3% of 275. It means that you are going to have to pay more taxes at this rate because property taxes are calculated based on the value of your home. So the higher the value of your home, the higher it's going to be your property taxes. How does that translate to expensive rents? Well, let's just think about this, right? So you're a landlord, you owe property, and you are doing this because it is a business and you're trying to make a profit out of it, right? So what happens when your expenses go up? So in this case, your property taxes is an expense and it's going up by a rate of like approximately 11%, 10%, right? And so what that happens when your expenses go up, it's either gonna eat into your profits, or you as a landlord, you're gonna have to make some adjustments to the rent. You're gonna have to go out to your tenant and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna need to raise the rent because you know what? Everything is becoming expensive. The operating cost is getting expensive. I need to pay my staff. You need to pay your property manager, because if you come to think about it, your property manager is probably gonna wanna get an increase because his cost of life is also going up, right? Your property manager also needs to pay for the rent. Your property manager also needs to buy groceries, and whatever amount of money they're making from you right now, it's probably not gonna be enough because of inflation, right? So if you are a tenant and your property manager or your landlord is reaching out to you to explain you that rent is going up this year, now you know why. And if you are a landlord and you were struggling what to do and trying to figure out, okay, so how do I keep up with the cost? Now you have the underlying reasons as to why everything is happening, and you can use this information to your advantage. And it's not just on the property taxes, okay? I want to make this clear. It's impacting everything around it, because let's say, for example, something broke in the house, you need to do some kind of like maintenance fixture. Just going to Home Depot or any hardware store where you need to buy some construction materials or anything to fix the issue that's happening in the house, that's also going to be expensive. I'm sure you've all heard about the lumber costs going up and all of that stuff. Okay, so this has to do in part because of inflation and, you know, some other issues in the supply chain. But, you know, just to keep this episode simple, we're going to focus only and solely on inflation. Now, if you need more information to make your decision, I'm going to invite you to check out this episode right here. That's going to help you complement everything you just learned today so you can make an informed decision for yourself. Do not forget to hit the like button and also subscribe. Take care. Bye-bye.